What's going on, guys? Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Let's dive right in. So we had first up shared by Cointelegraph, and this was also retweeted or reposted by Hedera. So we had NASDAQ filing for a 19B4 to list and trade the Grayscale Hedera ETF. So pretty cool to see this. I also did just double check on the NASDAQ listing center to see right here we have the proposal to list and trade shares of the Grayscale Hedera Trust. So good to see this, and you can also open up that PDF if you do go to the NASDAQ listing center and check this out. So from my understanding, and friendly reminder, I'm not a financial advisor, I believe NASDAQ as the exchange files for the 19B4 like the proposal to list the ETF on their exchange, and then we need the ETF issuer to file the S1. So in this example, for the Grayscale Trust, this would be Grayscale being the issuer and NASDAQ being the exchange. And then once both filings are approved, the ETF can launch. And the good news on why I believe we have a very strong chance to get spot ETFs for XRP, Solana, and possibly others this year is because there have already been S1 filings. So we can see months back we had Bitwise file an S1 with the SEC to launch a spot XRP ETF. We have Canary Capital right there. We have 21 shares in S1. And we also had Wisdom Tree filing for a spot XRP ETF to be listed right on Cboe's BZX exchange. And don't quote me, but I also believe there are several for Solana like VanEck, 21 shares, and then Franklin Templeton. We also had Bloomberg analyst Eric Balchunas previously say that Hedera and Litecoin ETF applications have the best odds of approval, so he's listed HBAR, Litecoin, Solana, and XRP as the alts likely to get spot ETFs. Now with the recent news of Trump announcing this new US crypto reserve with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and ADA, it also makes me look at Cardano. And really, anything's on the table, initially probably more so in the top 10, maybe in the top 50. On coinmarketcap.com, really just ranking by market cap to look for the higher valued assets that are more established. Now, we talked a lot about this United States crypto reserve in the previous video, and this could be very big because this is likely going to spark a lot of discussions, excitement, and more applications for additional alts for spot ETFs. Will this be successful, and will this lead to the addition of more alts in this crypto reserve? And the biggest point about this that everybody should recognize is this crypto strategic reserve by the United States government equals recognition and legitimacy for even government regulators that are going to take this space more seriously, but also other nations. So I really just wanted to rant about that, keeping tabs on assets that are already in the US crypto reserve, likely having a good chance to get spot ETFs in the future, and then even the addition of new assets for spot ETFs and being added to this United States crypto reserve. And remember that absolutely any of these assets are on the table. I'm just referring to the ones that I've seen Eric Balchunas refer to most, but I mean, it could be really anything in this list. Alright, we also got news that iTrustCapital has listed Story, the ticker is IP, so they have a bunch of assets available as I scroll through this list. I believe it's 60 plus altcoins, give or take. So a big old list and it's growing, so good to see. And feel free to check out the video I did a few days ago going over the new PCA or Premium Custody accounts on iTrustCapital. I'll add a card to this video. And overall, with where we're at on the price chart, we are in a range, so for this year, we have to keep tabs on any major catalyst, and the Crypto Strategic Reserve, or a Bitcoin Reserve, would absolutely be a catalyst. And I saw this today, shared by Good Morning Crypto. We have Commerce Secretary says that President Trump will unveil a Bitcoin Reserve strategy at the White House Crypto Summit, marking a major shift in US crypto policy. So I guess this White House Crypto Summit is taking place on Friday, March 7th, so just in 2 days. And hopefully we get a lot more information about this US Crypto Strategic Reserve. And even ignoring news or different catalysts of good news or bad news, as long as we keep the monthly candle bodies above the 8-month EMA right around 83K and the candle keeps closing above that level, I think we're good. So we're in a range going up, down, just like the previous two ranges. It doesn't mean this range is going to be equal in length, longer, or shorter, but we are in a range and we're awaiting for a decision. I want to see us holding above this orange moving average and breaking out of this range as soon as possible, but we have to let the charts draw. And even just referring to the last two ranges or these periods of consolidation of chopping before the next big moves, just imagine how market sentiment or retail attention is based on this as well. So towards the end of this, before the strongest V-shaped recoveries, a lot of people lose interest. And then it pops, everybody starts paying attention again, and then they kind of get bored. So that's usually market sentiment until we get the next big move. So we got the big move, now we're in another period of consolidation awaiting for another big move. So per the past cycles, awaiting for us to actually break these previous highs, break out of the range, and run higher, and being mindful along the way of any flash wicks like we saw in August 2024 or past cycles, especially 2013, because that is a fractal I'm watching that I think could be similar. So I think for this cycle, it's going to be a mix between this 2013 and 2017 fractal. compared to last cycle structure. Alright, let's go through a few things here and there of recent news and different things that we've seen this year. So we know that Ripple and Chainlink are working together. We can see Ripple is leveraging the Chainlink standard. So we can see this is about the Ripple US dollar stablecoin on chain. So integrating Chainlink's price feeds and giving the Ripple US dollar secure and reliable on-chain pricing data. So this alone is very important for all types of DeFi applications and trading and lending. And these Chainlink price feeds have already been live, and then I just wanted to read this quote really quick to better understand the trillions of dollars that are transacted. With the Chainlink standard, Ripple is able to provide the Ripple US dollar ecosystem access to high-quality off-chain data through Chainlink's battle-tested infrastructure, which has enabled over $18 trillion in transaction value and is trusted by the world's largest financial institutions, $18 trillion in transaction value through Chainlink. Now that number is very big, and that's based on a variety of chains, but point being is this is very important for DeFi applications, especially for the Ripple US dollar. And on DeFi Llama, looking under oracles, we know that Chainlink is one of the biggest and most established oracle providers out there, so $32 billion in total value secured. And looking at total value locked in all of DeFi, looking at a variety of chains, we know that total value locked is absolutely tied to the price of these assets. And usually, the higher the TVL is, the total value locked in DeFi, the higher the total value secured can be. And everybody in crypto should know that the all-time high for TVL last cycle is likely going to be surpassed in the future. But we can see we're still recovering, so we're drawing some waves yet to break into new all-time highs. And so this is 96, almost 97 billion, and we have Ethereum accounting for over 50 billion of that value. So we saw President Trump's comments on believing in Ethereum, or saying that he really likes it or loves it or whatever he said. We need to see Ethereum perform this cycle to really help TVL and DeFi. And Ethereum performing would help oracles, DeFi applications, DEXs, all those assets. And I'm not saying Ethereum is the only one, it is just definitely the biggest when you're looking at other chains like Solana or big up-and-comers like SWI, as soon as this page loads. So even looking at SWI, we're just over 1 billion compared to even Solana, which is multiple X's higher, and then Ethereum is way higher than that. And then you can think about other chains that are still developing DeFi ecosystems that aren't even in this list. So we know there's been a lot of drama, FUD, and then even valid concerns with Ethereum and the price chart, looking at governance and even tokenomic issues, and I personally don't want to see Ethereum dump because it has a huge portion of the entire market. Usually that will tear other altcoins down, so I don't want to see that. But other competitors in the crypto space might actually see that as an opportunity to really step up and potentially take the place or take a portion of Ethereum's market share. So really, per the past cycles, and the future can be different, I still want to see, considering that Bitcoin created new all-time highs, I want to see Ethereum and Solana lead the way into new all-time highs as well. Obviously, XRP, HBAR, every asset that I've ever spoken about, I want them all to perform, but I want to see the usual cycle where there is this rotation to alts. And at least my hope and expectation is for Bitcoin to draw much higher waves, and then we get the crash of Bitcoin dominance for the actual big rotation to alts. And we'll finish up with this because I think this is fun to look at. So we're going to look at the last two alt seasons, these red boxes during the actual crash of Bitcoin dominance, and see how Bitcoin looked during the last two cycles versus today. So this is Bitcoin dominance on the weekly time frame. We're looking between March 2017 and January 2018. So Bitcoin dominance crashes. So now I'm just going to make a giant rectangle of the price action between March of 2017 up until around January 2018. So right around there. So this giant box was when Bitcoin dominance was crashing, Bitcoin was making higher highs, and we had a massive alt season. Now we're going to look at last cycle. So we had the crash of Bitcoin dominance from December 2020 near the end of the month up until around May 2021. So going down for Bitcoin dominance. So we'll do the same thing around December 28th, 2020. So it's right around, it's a little higher. So it's right there up until around May. So where did we get? Basically right around there. So this was the last alt season. So around that period, we saw Bitcoin going up, making higher highs, and we had the crash of Bitcoin dominance. Now, Bitcoin still drew waves and pulled back, still holding above the 8-month EMA, and then drawing even higher, making higher highs. So based on the last two cycles, where we clearly saw a relationship between Bitcoin dominance crashing as Bitcoin, the US dollar price chart, goes up, that's what I'm looking for again. So I'm just focused on this. I'm not really looking that far in the future if we get another all-time high with bearish divergence like last cycle, because that was the first time we did that, but who knows. So those are basically my high-level thoughts based on the previous Bitcoin cycles going into new all-time highs. We're at new all-time highs today, and then looking at the position of Bitcoin dominance. So we have crashes, recoveries, leading to another crash. We have a recovery, and we're waiting for another crash. I'm happy to keep guessing, but all in all, we are waiting for this type of structure to play out again, of a massive crash and Bitcoin creating higher highs for another alt season. So thank you guys so much for watching, and a huge thank you to all that hit the like button and let me know your thoughts down below. I will catch you guys in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts down below. You can find all links to my crypto resources, including tools for charting, trading bots, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts right in my link tree in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.